and welcome to our lecture number 35, Power Plant Economics Part 1, Week 11, Module 8. Myself, Dr. Ajay Kumar Gupta from Sri Rawatpura Sarkari University. Once again, I welcome all of you on SWAYAM course of Power Generation Technology. As you know, Faraday says that when we rotate generator, the electricity will generate. That means not that if power plant has 10 generator, we run all the generator together. First of all, we will see what will be the demand, how many of them are using power supply and how many them are not using power supply. For example, some of them going out of station or abroad. According to that, we have to see load is less, then we will run less generator. Suppose there is a festival like Diwali, Eid, then the power demand increase, therefore we need to run more generator to compensate the power supply, so that the power plant run efficiently and more economically. So it is required to run power plant in that way so that supply should be continuous and economical. So it is required to generate power according to the demand, but power cannot be stored, although it can be stored in battery but in less amount. Therefore, we required grid to supply in other location where power generation is less. For example, like in Chhattisgarh, demand is less but the generation is more because of surplus coal available for thermal power plant. So by means of grid, Chhattisgarh supply power to other state where demand is high and the generation is less. If the generation is low, then we have to pay more, and to increase the generation of electric power and to increase the power generation, consumer have to pay more charges. Therefore, it is necessary to understand the economics of power generation. According to the textbook, the art of determining the cost of producing electrical energy per unit, that is 1 kilowatt, known as economics of power generation, is essential in power plant engineering. A consumer will only use electricity power if supplied at a reasonable rate. So in that, the contents are: first, introduction, characteristics of electricity, types of power plant, objective, in that we will see cost effective power generation, how we can generate the power effectively, load factor calculation, utility factor calculation, power operating factor, power plant capacity factor calculation, demand factor, diversity factor, load curve, load duration curve versus peak load, and in last, conclusion. So in your introduction, we will see that the importance of electricity in our daily lives. In that, we will highlight the need to explore the economics of power generation. In this point of introduction, we will see those things. In second, the characteristic of electricity, we will see electricity as a convenient and versatile form of energy. It is easy to produce, transport and uses, and how to control is easy. In this, we will see also the role of electricity in transmission and distribution. In next point, types of power plant, we will overview of various power generation method like hydroelectric power generation, thermal power generation, geothermal, tidal and gas turbine. In this, we emphasize on thermal power plant contribution over 80% of Indian electricity. After that, we will see objective. In that objective, we will see, or we will define how the goal of economics in power plant generating electric power at low cost. In next topic, we will see load factor. In that, we will explain the average load and peak load. We will define the load factor as the ratio of average load to peak load. In that, we will see importance of high load factor for cost effective electricity generation. In that we will see the load factor calculation. We will see formulation of calculating load factor, that is average load upon peak load. We will explain in that the constants in the formula. In that we will see example calculation to illustrate the concept. Utility factor, after that in that we will define the utility factor as the ratio of units of electricity generated per year to the installed plant capacity. In that utility factor as a measure of capacity utilization. After that we will see utility factor calculation. We will formalize, we will see how formula is used for calculating utility factor, that is units of electricity generation divided by installed plant capacity multiplied by 100. In this also we will see example calculation to demonstrate how the calculated utility factor. In next topic, plant operating factor. In that we will explain power operating factor as the ratio of the duration a plant is in operation to the total duration considered. In this we will see importance of measuring actual operational hour. After that we will see plant capacity factor. Definition of plant capacity factor, that is capacity factor as the ratio of the average load on equipment to their rating. Comparison with the plant operating factor. After that we will see its calculation, that is plant capacity factor calculation. In that also we will see the formula, that is average load on equipment divided by equipment rating multiplied by 100. After that we will see demand factor. What is demand factor? That is the ratio of maximum demand to the connected load. What is the importance of demand factor? Then we will see the diversity factor. In this we will define diversity factor as the sum of individual maximum demand divided by the maximum demand of the total group, and how connection of capacity planning and utilization. Then we will show the load curve. We will introduce the load curve as a graphical representation of power variation over time. In this we will explain x and y axis, what is the meaning here over x and what is the meaning over y axis. Then we will see the load duration curve. In this we will see load duration curve starting from peak load and the ending at lower load, differentiating load duration curve from the load curve. After that we will see the base load versus peak load. In that we will compare the base load, intermediate load and peak load, and what is the role of base load in maintaining constant power supply. And in last we will conclude all the recaps of this concept, that is load factor, utility factor, power plant operating factor, plant capacity factor, demand factor, diversity factor, load factor and load duration curve. In this we will conclude by understanding the importance of these factors for efficient power generation. Now come to the first slide, economics of power generation. Today we are going to see the concept of power generation. We know that electric power, that is electricity, is the basic requirement of all human beings. So for producing electricity power, we are going to learn the economics of power generation. What are the various factors related to the generation of power, then how the various factors are calculated, what are its formulas, and at the same time how the load curve or load duration curve is drawn for a particular consumer. So we will start with our first slide. We know that electricity is the only form of energy which is easy to produce, easy to transport, easy to use and easy to control. So it is the most terminal form of energy for transmission and distribution. Electricity is produced in various plants such as hydroelectric power plant, nuclear power plant, thermal power plant, geothermal plant, tidal plant, gas turbine, etc. But the thermal power plant generates more than 80% of electricity which is there in India. So this is the characteristics that the statics we are going to talk will be related to only India. So in economics of power generation, we are going to see that electricity is of major importance and therefore it is produced with the help of various power plant. So we required to find out how the electric power will be generated at its low cost. So while calculating the various term, there are various term of economics of power generation, that is load factor, then utility factor, plant operating factor, plant capacity factor, demand factor, diversity factor, load curve and load duration curve. So we will start it one by one, in which our first term, that is load factor. So before that I am going to explain you that what is the meaning of an average load and peak load. So average load means, suppose if in a particular building or in a particular village there are around suppose 100 houses. So average load required by all the houses will be averaged out and divided by the peak load during the particular period. The peak load means the highest load which has been absorbed. So therefore this is the ratio. So load factor is defined as the ratio of average load peak load during a certain prescribed period of time. So while calculating load factor, the major requirement is we should have two values. First value should be average load and the another value should be of the peak load. So the load factor of power plant should be high, and so that the capacity is utilized for maximum period, that will result in low cost of electricity being generated. What is the meaning of this sentence is, if load factor is high, then all the total capacity will be utilized. Means suppose if a power plant is having capacity of around 100 megawatts, so if that 100 megawatts power is utilized, suppose out of the 100 megawatts, if 90 megawatts power is utilized, then the load factor become 0.9. So therefore from the maximum capacity around 0.9 the capacity is utilized, then we can say that the load factor will be higher. So it is always less than the unity, and high load factor is a desirable quantity. Then higher load factor means a greater average load resulting in greater number of power units generated from a given maximum demand. Means depending upon the maximum demand of a particular system, the load factor means that there are great number of power units are generated from the maximum demand. Then the fixed cost, which is proportional to the maximum demand, can be distributed over a great number of units, that is kilowatt hour supply. So this will lower the overall cost of the supply of electrical energy. So as we explained just now that if higher load factor is there, then the capacity of the supply of electrical energy will be less. If the load factor is less, then the cost of electrical energy will be more. So this is the formula for calculating load factor. Average load over a given time of interval divided by the peak load during the same time interval. So you can see here that kilowatt hour, that is average in a year, divided by kilowatt maximum into 8760. Now what is this 8760? So basically see that in one day we are having 24 hours, and this 8760 is equal to the number of hours in 1 year. So if we will multiply this 24 by 365, consider a general year. So therefore 365 into 24, it will give us the 1 year equal to 8760 hours. Example we will take, if a plant has a peak load of 1000 megawatt but the average annual load is only 350 megawatt. So we see that the plant is having a peak load of 1000 megawatt. So it is equal to the installed capacity 1000 megawatt, but the only average load is 350 megawatt, then its annual load factor becomes 0.35. So see now, as its load factor is only 0.35, it means that the most of its capacity remain unutilized the major part of the year, and therefore the cost of generating the electrical power will be high. In one example which we earlier mentioned, it was having 0.9 load factor, so which was higher load factor, so therefore the cost of electrical generation was less. But in this case, now if load factor is 0.35, then the cost of electric generation or electric energy generation will be higher. Now the example of a load factor, now you can see a dotted line on this chart. Two dotted lines are there. One is the average load, means the average of all the demands, and the peak load is the maximum load. Now you can see that on x axis this is just shows a typical load curve. On x axis we are having in our 12 up to 12 am again, and load on the y axis kilowatt or megawatt. So the intuition which is shown that is a load curve and maximum load is peak load. So for calculating average load, it will be the area under load curve, that is kilowatt hour divided by 24 hours. So how to calculate this area under the curve? So I will give you one example. If at 3 am the average load is 3 megawatt or 10 kilowatt, and at 6 it is having again 10 kilowatt. So far calculating area under load curve, it will be into bracket 3 into 10 bracket complete plus 6 into 10. So the actual for calculating area under load curve, so from 3 to 6 there are only 3 hours. So 3 into 10 plus 3 into 10. So that will be the area under the load curve. So basically this load curve will determine the way in which average load is calculated at the same time. It will give us the flow of demand for a particular time. So therefore this is nothing but whenever a timely basic the particular load curve is drawn, we say that this load curve is a daily load curve because the time of a particular day is given. If these days from hours are changed into days, then that become a monthly load curve. If these days are changed to months, then this become a yearly or an annual load curve. Second factor, it is the ratio of units of electricity generated per year to the capacity of plant installed in the station. It is also defined as the ratio of maximum demand of a plant to the rate capacity of the plant. So here again we will have one example. Supposing the rate capacity of a plant is 200 megawatt, so this is maximum capacity of particular plant 200 megawatt. Maximum load on the plant is 100 megawatt at load factor of 80%. So how to calculate utility factor here? Just see the given values. Rated capacity is 200, maximum load on the plant is 100 megawatt, load factor is 80%. So therefore utility factor will be 100 into 80 divided by 200, that is 80%, means 0.8. So the utility factor become 40%. So what does it means? It means that installed capacity is maximum and only 40% of demand is received from the human beings or from any commercial, residential or industrial system. So the utility factor is calculated in this way. Then third plant operating factor is the ratio of the duration during which the plant is in actual service to the total duration of the period of time considered. So here while calculating plant operating factor, the only hour or the duration under which the plant has been running to the total duration of the period of time considered. So, we can take one example that if suppose 12 months is the period duration of time considered, and out of the 12 months only 9 months the plant is in operation. So, therefore, it will be ratio of 9:12. Then plant capacity factor, it is the ratio of average load on machine or equipment to the rating of the machine or equipment for a certain period of time considered. So, again, as compared to plant operating factor, if you consider the capacity of plant, so therefore, it is the ratio of average loads on the machine to the rating of the machine for a certain period of time. In this way, we are calculating the plant capacity factor. Then again, see, it is known with reverse capacity of power plant. A factor is needed which will measure the reserve, likewise the degree of utilization of installed equipment. So, therefore, it is equal to average load divided by the rated capacity of the plant. What is average load? Kilonewton per hour generated in a year divided by rated capacity in the number of hours, that is 24 into 365 into the maximum load on the plant, or that is the rated capacity of the plant. So, kilowatt generation per year divided by the installation capacity into 8760. Then the fifth demand factor, the actual maximum demand of a consumer is always less than the connected load, since all the appliances in his residence will not be in operation at the same time or to their fullest extent. So, this is the big sentence or the important sentence here for calculating demand factor. See that the connected load in our house, we know that it is 220 volt power is coming inside our residential houses. So, at the same time, we are always not running all the devices, like some way we required only fan, sometime we required only television set, etc. So, the demand factor is always less than the connecting load. So, the ratio of maximum demand of a system is to connected load is termed as demand factor. So, it is always less than unity. It is equal to the actual maximum demand divided by the total connected demand. Then sixth is diversity factor. It is the sum of individual maximum demand divided by the maximum demand of the total group. Now, whenever there is a diversity factor coming in the existence, we required one or more maximum demand. So, this will be equal to the maximum connections of the particular plant or the maximum utilization of a particular area where number of houses are present. So, the equal of sum of individual consumer groups divided by the actual peak load of the system. So, the capacity of plant will be smaller, resulting in fixed charges. So, also in comprise with diversity factor, we are having a plant used factor, which is the ratio of energy produced in a given time to the maximal possible energy that could have been produced during the same time of operation. Again, I will repeat, plant use factor is the ratio of energy produced in the given time to the maximum possible energy that could have been produced during the same time of operation. It means that the extent up to which we are using the applications or appliances in our houses like machine etc. So they are not running to their full efficiency. So the actual energy produced at the same time as the energy which could have been produced by the same time of operation. So it is equal to the plant use factor. Now see, this is a chart which is representing the different factors. So we have written the ratio, also load factor equal to the average load by peak load use factor equal to the peak load by plant capacity, and capacity factor equal to average load divided by plant capacity. So use factor is related with the peak load and capacity factor is related with the average load. So the graph which is showing a load curve is having the maximum point as peak load, lower point or that is the average point as the average load, and you can see that top average the peak load we are having plant capacity, because as we have mentioned in the earlier slides that the system we are connecting to our electric power system are not running to their fullest capacity. So we can take one example, that is plant capacity is 200 megawatt, then peak load will be 180 megawatt and average load will be 100 megawatt. So in this way in which the representation of this factor is done. Seventh is, it is a load curve. Now it is curve showing the variation of power with time. It shows that the value of specific load for each unit of period covered. The unit of time considered may be hours, day, week, month or year. So as we have explained again that the x axis which is showing us the time of AM and PM, that we can be represented by hour to day, from days to month, from months through year, and the left side that is y axis, it will be always constant. It will be the power or load connected at a particular point, and then we are going to plot this load curve. So center point which is shown here, the curve which is shown, this is nothing but a type load curve. Then load duration. Now see, there is a big difference between load curve and load duration curve. In load curve only the time is more important, and based on that time we are plotting the load curve. Load duration curve is very different as compared to load curve. In load duration curve, before going to its definition, I will explain you how to draw this load curve first. Always see that load duration curve starts from peak load and ends at lower load. Means suppose in a plant if you are having 3 points as 100 watt megawatt, then 80 megawatt and 60 megawatt in ascending order. Suppose it is having 60, 80 and 100. So then the 100 megawatt will be plotted first, then second point will up to their particular duration, then 80 megawatt will be plotted, and then 60 megawatt value will be plotted. So load duration curve is the way in which the load is vary on particular plant. So it starts from peak load, that is highest load, and its end at the lower load value. So it is a curve for plants showing the total time within a specific period during which load equal or exceed the values source. In this way the load duration curve is drawn. Means the base connected load is constant, then at the center part you will absorb an intermediate load which is shown. Intermediate load is the load which continuously varies during or between the base load and peak load. So daily load curve and load duration curve are shown now in this diagram. So you can observe that a daily load curve is having a wavy nature, but this wavy nature is sometime going to be peak period or sometime going to be a base load period. There is a load of variation depending upon the load curve, because it is drawn from initial time to final time. But if you will absorb the second diagram from load duration curve, it is a curve which is constantly going downward direction, because it starts the peak load and ends to the lower load. So this is the way which we are discriminating base load versus peak load, because base load will always remain constant in a particular plant, and therefore only change will be in the way in which we drawn the curve. So it is determine the load curve and load duration curve. That is the end of our lecture as far as we can tell. Thank you.